Hi, friends. Today we are going to create a relief paper sculpture of a turkey. And we're going to make sure that the feathers are going to stick out from the background. Let's get started. The material you are going to use today are a pair of scissors, glue stick, construction paper, and a pencil. If you do not have construction paper at home, just grab out a white blank piece of paper and some crayons. To start off, you are going to get out a brown piece of construction paper. Again, if you don't have that, or if you don't have enough, grab a piece of paper, that blank white piece of paper. And what we're going to do is we're going to trace our hand. All right, don't spread them out really wide. All right, you want to keep a little bit of distance in between your fingers. And I'm tracing around my fingers. I want to get really close to my fingers because if I go really far, it might be just a little too big for the paper. All right, so there we have it, my traced hand. After you're done tracing, you're going to grab your scissors and cut it out. All right, so here is my hand cut out. Again, if you don't have brown, you just grab that paper and with a brown crayon, you can trace it and then color it in like this. And then you'll cut it out. Okay, so we want to do the feathers. To create the feathers, get out the warm colors. Yellows, reds, orange. And if you don't, there is a lot of extra paper that you did not use for your tracing. So you can draw and color them in on that white piece of paper if you do not have construction paper. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold the paper. This is going to help me create more feathers rather than cut individual feathers out. So I cut it and then I'm going to leave that open side near my belly. And I'm going to draw the feathers. So you can either draw them with a point, or if you want to do a big U from top to bottom, you can do that. All right, and I'm just going to only draw a couple. You can probably get away with drawing maybe 3 or 4. I'm kind of going a little bit more like to the half of the paper. You're probably not going to need that much. So I would start off with maybe 3 or 4 feathers, and when you cut them, it doubles it, so you'll have about 6 feathers, and that's a good chunk of feathers. All right, so when you're going to cut them out, you want to put them off to the side, okay? Try to find a safe place so they don't fall on the floor or get thrown out. You're going to do this to all 3 colors. So after you're done with the yellow, you're going to do that to the red and to the orange, okay? Make sure that you put these little pieces in a safe spot. Okay, after you're all done, you can see some pencil lines. All right, we want to turn it over so the pencil lines are not being seen. Now, this is up to you if you'd like, but I'm going to add a little line going in the middle. It kind of gives it that feather look. You look closely, and then if you want as well, I'm going to add a little texture to it. And to do that, I'm going to add little cuts to the side. Now, I recommend grouping a bunch of the feathers together and doing this so you can save time. All right, but that's going to give it more of a feather texture. Now, the thumb is not going to be feathers. That's actually going to be where the turkey's head will be. So I'm just going to put a little dot there. You can use a pencil or a marker. And then any scrap yellow paper that you have, you want to use that for your beak. So I'm going to cut out a triangle, and my triangle actually has double sides, so it looks like the beak is open. If you just do a flat triangle, that's fine, but this kind of gives it a raised look, like a relief sculpture. So I'm going to glue that in, just knowing, okay, that is where my turkey's head is. So these, as you can see, these 4 fingers here are where I'm going to place the feathers. So the best thing to do when you're placing these feathers is start at the top of your finger and work your way down. All right, so I'm just going to do a little glue spot there. There we go. All right, so I'm going to keep going with my feathers, and I'm going to start at the top of the finger and work my way down. I'm only going to go to the base of the finger. I'm not going into the palm. I'm going just to the base of the finger. If you do want to go a little farther down, you definitely can as well. all done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend the feathers to create the relief sculpture to make it look like the feathers are coming out. All right, so we want to bend, and if you only bend a couple, that will work. I'm just going to go in and try to bend as many as I can, and that's going to give it that raised look like a relief sculpture. And there you have it, a turkey.